Now, please keep in mind too that Bethany has a job outside the home, which is why she hasn't had time to film the course. So she's not making this kind of money yet, even though she's saying that she 100% believes we will make it happen. Your belief is not the truth, Bethany. Hey everyone, welcome to Nicole Reacts, where I, Nicole, react to online marketing gurus that I find on the internet. My qualifications for snark and commentary are that I've owned a marketing company for the last almost 15 years, and in that time I've worked with close to 500 clients, which means I've seen a variety of situations, perspectives, and approaches to marketing, and I feel like I have a pretty deep content knowledge about online marketing, SEO, and related topics. So today's person is an intersection of my interests. Now, obviously, I love marketing. It's why I run a marketing company, why I talk about marketing content on YouTube, why I follow other marketing accounts in my spare time. But that's my more public interest. A more private interest I have is following influencers. Now, before you call me vapid or shallow for doing this, I'm just going to point out that I think that as humans, all of us have a fascination with following people online that we do not interact with in real life. And if you look at what you look at, there might be a group that you are interested in following. Maybe it's celebrities. Maybe it's plus size models. Maybe it's sports people. But for me, it's influencers. I think they're so interesting. I love seeing their content strategy. I love seeing what companies they're affiliating themselves with and how they're doing it. I love seeing what grifts they're working on to bring money into their own company. I love seeing if they have beef with other people and if they do address it, whether it's more direct or more passive aggressive. I just think all of it's really interesting. And so I've been a part of several snarking communities, including the Fundy Snark community on Reddit. Now, today's person is Bethany Beal. Now, if you don't know who she is, she's a Christian influencer, and she is one half of the Girl Defined duo. Now, Girl Defined is a YouTube channel and is part of Girl Defined Ministries. That's right. It is vaguely a religious organization, so I'm wondering if they're tax exempt. I will see if they are and put on the screen or in the resources below information about that. But part of this Girl Defined Ministries, besides the YouTube channel, is having conferences, writing books, and selling journals and merch related to biblical womanhood. Now, these hot takes from Bethany and her sister Kristen range from stuff that I think is relatively harmless, like maybe wearing shorts that are longer than I personally would normally wear. But the more problematic stuff, like their recent video about trans people, is pretty problematic. And what you'll notice is they will put out this content and then turn off the like to dislike ratio and or turn off the comments, which shows that they will start the fight, but they will not engage in discussion, which I think is a little bit gross. If you are going to bring up a controversial topic, to me, you should be willing to have a conversation about it. Now, since probably the last year or 6-ish months, Bethany, in addition, the Girl Defined channel is still going. They're still putting out content, but she has also started her own Instagram account called She Works Smart. And this Instagram account is all about selling a high ticket course and selling a high ticket course as a passive income strategy. Now, you might ask yourself, wait a minute, has she ever made a course before? Has she ever sold a high ticket course before for someone else? And the answer to both those questions, from what I can see, is no, which is part of what makes this fascinating. So today we're going to look at the Instagram account. We're going to look at their content strategy. We're going to see what she's selling, how she's selling it, and whether I think she can live up to the promises that I see her making on this account. Now, if for some reason Bethany and her family are watching this, I will remind you that this is a commentary, which means it's protected around copyright law. So dispute all you want, but I will fight it because I think that my opinion about your content as someone who is a 15-year veteran doing online marketing, making courses and selling courses, that's right, I have a teaching certification, so I can actually make curriculum. And I've actually taught at the college level and the high school level. So I have more experience than Bethany does in this particular thing, in addition to also having more marketing experience. So without further ado, let's check out Bethany Beal and her project. Actually, before we open her Instagram account, I just want to look at something with you. Now, she has consistently said on Instagram and maybe other places that she started this She Works Smart from scratch. Now, let's pretend that you had 70,000 Instagram followers and you started a brand new account. You don't think that some of those people would move over and follow you there? I wanted to actually test this theory. So I was going to buy a report, you guys, from but some of these websites looked really scammy. So what I did here is take some screenshots of what was publicly visible. Again, I would love to get an actual report. So if you know of a reputable company that would do that, I am totally willing to pay for it. So this is Girl Define's, like, I guess, data. At the time I took the screenshot, they had a little under 70,000. Now they have a little over 70,000. So, but it's the same idea, right? And what it's showing us is, first of all, an abysmal engagement rate, 1%. Ooh. And we see that, what their content is worth, right? When they do a sponsored post, this is obviously an estimate, probably generated by a computer, but this gives you an idea of what this account looks like. Now let's take a look at She Works Smart. Obviously much lower, 2,000 followers. It's a little less than that now. But the engagement is much better, 4%. So anything above 3% generally is considered pretty good, brand deal worthy. And you'll see that obviously, since she has a much smaller audience, her earning potential for content on this account is a lot smaller than with the Girl Defined account. Now you might be asking yourself, well, okay, you're just showing relative size accounts. Like, what does this prove of anything, right? And so, like I said, I wanted to buy a report so I could compare the followers, but all these websites look really spammy. So I didn't want to put my credit card or even my PayPal into them and not get what I was looking for. So this is what I did. I opened up Instagram and I copied a bunch of followers. I did a 5% audience for Girl Defined and a 5% of She Works Smart. Now, 5% of She Works Smart are like 2,000 people. That wasn't bad. But for the Girl Defined audience, I scrolled for a while before I pasted it into the spreadsheet. So what I did is I compared and I flagged any duplicates with both accounts. There's something you could do in Google spreadsheets, just so that you know, where you can actually flag duplicates. So it's kind of handy. It just kind of highlights them in green. So within my spreadsheet, I just went 5%. And since I copied and pasted directly from Instagram, it didn't seem like it was in alphabetical order. I'm guessing maybe it was in follow order. So maybe if I followed them, I would be on the top of the list of followers. I'm not quite sure how it works. But anyway, I found 2 followers in common. So I think I looked at 136 people is 5% of Bethany's following. And I forgot what number it was for the Girl Defined, because I'm not really good at that in real life. So let's just say that, 2 shared people is like 1.5% of the total audience, right? So if we take 1.5% of the 70,600 people, when I did this math a couple of days ago, you'll see that 1,059 people, if 1.5% moved over, would be following She Works Smart. And at the time of filming, she currently has 2,430 followers. So what I am saying is that pretending that she started from nothing is not true, because even if a small percentage of the audience moved over, she would have similar amount of followers, or even about half of the followers or so could have come from that Girl Defined much larger account. All right, so just before we look at some videos, here is just the general vibe of this Instagram account. So you'll see Bethany, online course coach, right? I help millennial and Gen Z women turn their passion into money by creating their own online courses. Free niche down ebook. And it's a MailChimp landing page where you give your email and she sends you, it's literally a 2-page ebook. Savvy Rates Books downloaded it. I'll link to that video below if you want to just go see what it looks like. If I gave my email and only got a 2-page ebook, I'd be pretty annoyed. So the gist of this whole thing is that Bethany is going to be releasing this fall an online course about how to sell your course. And the cost of this course to sell courses is $2,000. Okay. So we're just giving you that background. And so she's been posting content that is business and sort of mompreneur and sort of online marketing related. Now, we might look at her Instagram a little bit more, but I did want to cut together some videos that were a little bit thematic related to the Instagram content she's posted. Now, most of what she's posted is Instagram Reels, which are short format videos filmed in a vertical format. And what you can do is not only post these to the Reels part, but you can also post them to your stories and then highlight them on the top of your page. So video content not only is more engaging, but you can also just kind of put it more places. So that's why a lot of people do it. So what I want to do is she has in her highlights, she has a start here button. And so what I'm going to do is just play everything that she has in the start here section of her Instagram account. So to me, this is what she thinks is the most important things for you to know about her account and what she's doing. So let's check it out.
Hello friends, my name is Bethany Beal and I am the founder of She Works Smart, and I actually got the name idea from Proverbs 31. I honestly just went to that chapter, verses like 10 through 31, and I just started looking for inspiration, looking for ideas, and she
All right. So that gives you an idea of her vibe. And what I appreciate is she spent a lot of time talking about the Bible verse where she started her business, like where she got the business name from. She's very into business names, which we'll get into in the next video. But I took a screenshot of the thing that was on the screen for like a second, and let's take a look at it. Okay. So she had a little slider, and you could indicate whether you thought that this amount of experience was enough experience for her to sell you an online course. So I'm going to read it here. Running a successful nonprofit, writing and publishing 5 books, traveling the world to speak, hosting 6 internationally attended conferences, running a successful online shop, and releasing multiple online courses sounds like business experience to me. Now, I'm not really familiar with her online courses, and I feel like her online store is like the Girl Defined merch, right? Her selling journals and stuff. I don't know of any other thing that she's selling, and I certainly don't know of any courses she's ever released. So, and as you see, what I think is hilarious is if you look at the slider, these are all people who follow her on Instagram, right? That took this poll. That's good business experience. As you see, it's about halfway down. So something to know about Bethany is she didn't go to college. She's got a little bee in her bonnet about it. And listen, I studied geology and French. I'm doing online marketing. I understand that sometimes you don't get formal education in the thing you end up doing for a living, but all of this sort of stuff that she's talking about is stuff with Girl Defined Ministries. So she's like promoting herself, right? And what I always think is interesting with these gurus, and I know I've brought it up multiple times here, is like, you know, they have a sample size of 1, right? Which is their own stuff. Have they had success beyond the sample size of 1? It's not like she's held 6 different online conferences for other people. She's just held her own online conferences with her audience, right? Now, someone like me, you would look and say, oh, well, you have less Instagram followers than Bethany Beal. But at the same time, I have worked with probably about 100 people's Instagram accounts at this point. So I would say I know more about Instagram marketing than Bethany Beal because my sample size is beyond 1. I have other samples. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. That was her start here, and that people weighing in on her qualifications, even on her own page, are not necessarily blown away by them. I also want to play this, which is step 1 of starting a business. This is also highlighted in Instagram, so you can check it out. There isn't multiple steps, by the way. She posted step 1, and at the end of this video, she's going to say follow for more steps. What I'm going to do as a contrast is I'm going to play my series of videos I have on TikTok about starting a business that I posted in succession. So I posted them all at once so that you can see the difference between someone who has run a business for a while and has worked with other businesses versus someone with a sample size of 1. So this is her step 1 of running a business.
You can pick an actual name. For me, I went with She Works Smart. And here's something you need to make sure you do before you settle on that name. Make sure that name is available on social media as well as a domain name. So I encourage you to check the social media platforms you're going to be most active on, as well as check GoDaddy.com. You can buy a domain extremely cheap, even if you don't plan to use it, but make sure the name you want is available. If the name you go with is available, then you can secure your domain and your social media handles and get started from there. Follow for more steps on how to start your small business.
By contrast, I did a series of TikTok videos a while back about starting a business. Maybe I should cross-post them to my Instagram. I just haven't yet. But basically, one of the people that I follow asked about starting a business, and so I ended up with an accidental series. So here's those videos in order.
How does one go about renting out their time?
All right, this is going to be a two-parter. Not because there's necessarily a lot of things to do, but I'm going to explain what they are as I go along. Number 1, apply for an EIN number from the IRS's website. It'll take about 15 minutes. You want a number that's separate from your social for a lot of reasons. 2, use that EIN number to get a bank account. You can use your existing bank. You just want to keep your business stuff separate from your personal stuff. All right, number 3 is set your hourly rate. Now, there's 2 things that can go into this. Number 1, you can just do a little bit of research and find out what people are charging for similar things and kind of maybe go on the lower end of that to just get some clients. The other way you can do it is you know your expenses and you can track your time and figure out how many billable hours you can get in a day. So in my case, 2 billable hours a day, $125 an hour, 5 days a week is $10,000 a month, and that more than covers everything. You'll be tempted to go low, but don't go too low because the market has to bear your costs.
How does one go about renting out their time?
All right, starting a consulting business, part 2. Step 4, make a website. You can use a builder like Squarespace or Wix. It's going to be 10 or 15 bucks a month. If you sign up for the year, I think they throw in a domain name, but that's like 15 bucks. It's going to be 150-ish bucks a year to look legit and have a website. I think it's totally worth doing that. And put information on there so that people can learn as much about you as possible. Now, step 5 is where we get into online booking. Now, there's 2 routes you can go with this. Number 1 is you can just use some kind of contact form with very detailed questions and do a kind of free consultation. And then afterwards, if you decide to work together, you can charge them at that point. Option 2, if you want to get payment before you even talk to people, use a booking system like Calendly. That's going to be 15 bucks a month, and you can integrate with a free account you make on Stripe.com to accept online payments as they're booking. I guess I need a part 3.
How does one go about renting out their time?
All right, starting your consultancy, part 3. This is where we get into marketing, and there's a few different directions you can go with this, but here are some of my favorites. Step 6, make a Google business listing. They're free. Fill it out as completely as you can. You want Google to know your business. Number 7 is find online directories that might be relevant to what you're selling and add your business information, including website, to them. Number 8, find groups of people who would buy into what you're going to be doing and find out if they have some kind of association that meets regularly and offer them to come and speak for free. They should meet you. That helps. Now, as you work with people, you'll want to do what are called case studies. So you want to kind of write up, what you did, how you worked with them, how they were successful afterward. People like seeing that sort of thing because all you need to get a boyfriend is to have a boyfriend. At least that's how it works in business. Good luck. All right, so you probably noticed there's a couple of differences between the way me and Bethany give advice. So first of all, my advice, I think, is more specific. And the reason is that I'm specifying that is how to start a consultancy, which is a sort of service-based business where people pay me hourly or by the project for my time. That I can speak on. I can't speak on what it's like to run a retail company. I can't speak about what it's like to run a restaurant. There are certain kinds of businesses that I don't know how to run. Market, yes. Run, no. Now, I understand that the name of my business can be a little bit polarizing. In case you're curious, Breaking Even was the name of my personal finance blog that I started as a precursor to starting the business. So the name is a little bit nostalgic. Secondly, back in the day, and actually still, online business directories mostly list things in alphabetical order. So if you have an A or a B name, you're coming up higher than some other people that might be on the list. And thirdly, I don't know, it's easier to spell than my last name. I have people I've been friends with for a decade who can't even spell my last name. So naming the business just my name, I thought would limit me to hiring other people, right? If I just called it Nicole Willett Consulting, well, suddenly it's just Nicole Willett. Whereas if I have a company name, that implies that there could be other people as well, which is something that I always wanted. Now, I've had people not understand the name, not like the name, and that's totally fine. But I've never had anyone, I think, not work with me because of my name. And if they were going to decide not to work with me because of the name of my company, I don't know if I want to work with them either. That seemed a little high maintenance. But anyway, I think your business name, while important, is not as important as you delivering on the goods and services that you're promising. But what do I know? Anyway, let's look at some other business related content that Bethany Beal has put.
Nobody thinks what I think.
She say she wanna dance, but she don't know.
Peace up, A-Town down. Yeah.
So we get it, Bethany. You're a business owner. And, I understand. Listen, it's not my only identity, but for this particular account, I understand how she's talking about her business there. On my business Instagram account, I talk about my business too. So I get it. But in reviewing a lot of Bethany's content, the only time I have ever seen her reference sources is these podcasts. So she talks about reading business books, but we don't know the names of any books she's reading. I don't know if she's taken any online classes about running a business, but we don't know that either. And I just think it's really interesting that all of these gurus want to teach you something, but they don't seem like they're as into learning from other people as they would want you to be as their potential customer. Now, as a reminder, I am grouping these things together thematically. So the posts I just showed you, they're not all together on her Instagram. They're in different parts of her Instagram, but I wanted to kind of cut them together so that we could talk about themes a little bit more easily. Now, that one where she's, got the money is kind of veering into this whole like business owner lifestyle. I'm a baller. And so she does have some content about sort of passive income. Again, I tried to cut all these clips together, and I think there is a later clip that I'm going to do further in the broadcast where she talks about passive income again. So I didn't quite get all of them, but in seeing these few, you'll get the idea anyway.
Thanks a lot, you idiot. Thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot.
Will I get over it? No. But life goes on.
So you see how that's kind of veering away from sort of business and how to start a business content into the lifestyle of having a business. Another thing that you'll notice that these online gurus do is disparage people like me who trade their time for money like a sucker. And what I want to say back to them is, since when do we have to make an infinite amount of money? Like, why do we have to make 6 figures a month or whatever, or 7 figures or 8, why do we have to be in the multiple comma club or whatever? Who cares? Like, as long as you're making enough money to support your life and maybe put some money away and maybe help other people, like, what do you care? So anyway, if you provide services, I think that this view of like service providers they're so short-sighted because they're not thinking of scalability. I think it's a bunch of BS. But anyway, now the other kind of layer to this Bethany creating a course about courses is that it's not done yet. Like, it's not finished. It's not for sale yet. And as the public, we have kind of no idea of what's in it. So I screenshotted this from Reddit. So there's the course outline. She's covering it up because heaven forbid if you saw the outline, you would know everything she was going to teach you, right? There was another post, and I couldn't find it before this broadcast, where it was on like one sheet of paper where she had the outline written out, and it was like filming, technical concerns. Like it was just very general like that. Couldn't find it. If it exists and you know where it exists, feel free to leave it as a comment, link below this video. But anyway, so she's selling this course that is not done yet and that has an unclear amount of content, right? So we know that there's an outline, and she is right now, right before I filmed this video that you're watching now, she was filming the video content for her course. And so I took a screen cap of this story that she posted a few days ago about filming. So let's take a look at that and talk about it.
I'm headed to film day 2, and I'm actually hoping to get the rest of the filming done today. I have all day to get it done, and so we're gonna see. I have 13 modules that I'm filming, but each module comes with like, 5 different sections, 5 different little videos that unpack whatever the module is covering, and then I will have the webinar that I'll film. So I have decided to film all of the modules, and I'm gonna film the webinar last. So the free webinar that will funnel people into my course, because and I have my little assistant. Are you my assistant, Davey? Because I feel like I will have my brains like the best of the best, and then I can film the webinar last. So I'll take you along with me today and show you how it's done. Here is my set. It's kind of janky because we have to have everything to put the little table on boxes, and the camera will be here. We've got some lights. Like I said, we're not renting this. This is my parents' office, and I have borrowed equipment, and Dave and I have equipment because he does this sort of thing, and he's helping me. And I know some of you are worried, like, okay, does creating an online course entail like video and all of that setup? No, most courses actually don't have video, and if they do, they're very small videos in the corner of slides. So don't stress out unless you are a vlogger or a YouTuber, someone who is familiar with doing video. I am going to teach you in the online course how to create an epic online course without this setup. But this is something that I'm used to. I love being on video. I've been doing it forever. So this is an aspect that I definitely wanted to include.
So as a complete aside, I don't know what it is about Christian fundamentalists on Instagram who don't wear lipstick most of the time. I don't know. If you understand that, feel free to leave a comment on this video. I don't get it. It's like these people are clearly wearing eyelashes. They're clearly wearing makeup. They're clearly wearing jewelry. They've clearly done their hair. Why the weird line with lipstick? But anyway, what I thought was interesting about that video is that she is getting a lot of help with this course. And her whole thing that she's been talking about on Instagram, and we'll see some more content in a second, is that you can do this all yourself. So her husband is the one who laid out the ebook. She's using nice equipment that she already has. She's using her parents' office, so she didn't have to find a filming location. So, it's one of those things where you're like, okay, you say how you're going to accommodate it, but maybe give us, an idea or two to show that you understand what that means to the rest of us. I also think it's really interesting that she said that most courses don't have video. I have taken, I don't know, probably 15 online courses throughout the life of my business to kind of learn new skills and stuff. I have never taken a course that does not have a video. If you have, please comment below. But I think you do need to be ready to record some video content if you're doing a course. And I think telling people otherwise, I would be really annoyed if I bought a course for $1,000 or $500 that was just someone showing slides. That would annoy me. But anyway, so that was filming day 2, and then the air conditioner broke. I forgot to record that, but she didn't get her filming done. So now she's on a baby moon with her husband. So I don't know when the recording will finish, but maybe it has finished by the time you watch this video. But at this time that I'm recording this today, it's not done yet. Now, besides the sort of business, I'm a boss, you'll make a lot of money content, There's also a group of content about sort of marketing, right? Because if you're running an online business, a lot of your time is going to be spent on marketing because you have to get people to be aware of your business, and what it does. You have to be sort of reaching out and getting feedback from people and having them interact with your content. You have to be building either an email or a texting list so that you can reach out to people directly when, you have new products, services, something like that. So this is Bethany explaining how to list build, which is what she's doing right now by having the Instagram account and then the link of her Instagram account being a free download to MailChimp. So let's hear Bethany explain how this works.
How to create your free lead magnet so that you can start creating an email list. Step 1, use Google Drive to write your content. So whether it's going to be a monthly calendar someone can follow, a free ebook, a guide, whatever it is, get the content down in Google Drive. Step number 2, head over to Canva and search ebooks. You're going to then take that content that you've written and design a free download within Canva. Number 3, head on over to MailChimp to create a free landing page. If you're not already signed up, it's free. You can go there. You're going to go to the landing page section. And from there, you're going to be able to set up your download within an email landing page where then your audience will go to this landing page to download your free guide. And in return, you get their email address to start building a relationship with them. This is a must if you are wanting to start an online business or if you have an online business and you don't have a free lead magnet. You need an email list because honestly, we don't own social media. It could disappear, but your email list you will own and you can use it. Wow, loud. You can use it to connect with your community and to let them know about your next offer.
So you probably noticed that video was a lot more high effort than most of the stuff we've seen from her, right? It had captions. It had sort of helpful text like subtitles so you could follow what she was saying. I'm not sure why she chose to record it in a parking garage when she did. I mean, her makeup looked nice. Maybe that's why. And listen, I get it. As someone who used to live in a Main Street apartment whose windows were super thin, it was often hard to find times to film where there wouldn't have been any background noise. So now I live in the country and that's not a problem. But anyway, so this idea of having this lead magnet, which is having something for free that people are willing to give their email address for, and building your email list is nothing new. Jenna Kutcher, Amy Porterfield, all these marketing people have been talking about it for years. I myself have used them to build email lists for myself and my clients. There really is some theory to it. I will say, if you're going to lay out a calendar, I'm not sure why you put it in a document and then move it to Canva. But if you are going to write longer format, obviously doing it in some kind of word processing doc probably is easiest, and then formatting it later. So I could see why she said that for a more of a document. But if you're doing a calendar or, recipes or something like that, just lay it out in Canva right off. I say, to skip that Google Drive step because, you're going to basically have to do stuff twice. So the other thing about sort of the marketing part of Bethany's postings is that she is selling you a course about how to sell courses, right? And a big part of selling things is marketing. So she has to demonstrate with her Instagram platform that she knows how to use this platform and she can use it to sell things. So she has to understand how to use reels and trending sounds and hashtags. She has to understand the different kinds of content you can post on Instagram, like carousels and stories, and how to use those. And she has to show those who follow her that she knows how to do that, right? If she's going to help you do that. So I want to take a look at some of the content that she has where she's trying to sort of participate in online trends. Now, she tried to participate in the It's Corn trend, as we saw earlier, which was that trending sound that's been going around the last few weeks. And I did a broadcast about trending sounds using It's Corn as an example. I'll link that below in case you want to learn about how trending sounds are used and how businesses use them in their marketing and why it helps and that kind of thing. But the thing is, the It's Corn song is a lot longer than the part of it that she played. Right? So the song goes a lot longer than that. So to me, if she would have wanted to provide more value to her audience, she could have given more examples of why passive income is great. It's passive income. It's money while you sleep. It's doing something once and using it multiple times. It's getting to interact with way more people than you could one-on-one. That, right? Like, I've already given you multiple examples of why passive income would be great. That could have been used with that sound, and I think would have made a more valuable video. I just find a lot of her stuff kind of low effort. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play for you a motivational thing, and then I'm going to play you a sort of jokey content that she posted that goes on for entirely too long. So I'll play those two in a row and then we'll discuss.
You don't have to be amazing to start. You gotta start so you can be amazing. You don't.
If you find yourself like me with really dry, uneven skin, I have a beauty secret for you. You're gonna take some Greek yogurt and you're gonna rub it all over your face. And then you're gonna cut up some strawberries and put those on your cheeks for that natural, glowy look. And after this, you're gonna wanna take some blueberries and rub the juice on your lips. Now, let it sit for 3 hours.
Right? Wasn't that awkward? I get it. She's saying like, okay, my niche is online courses. I'm not telling you about skincare. And like, here's a joke about me doing something ridiculous with skincare. But I feel like examples where she's showing content that would be helpful for her audience could be longer. And these sort of jokey things could be shorter and still get the point across. Like, it felt awkward and long to me. Did it feel awkward and long to you? And let me just show you some other internet trends that she's participating in.
Ariana, what are you doing here?
Alexis, they're liking it.
We have 5 likes. People are coming back.
So yeah, that's Bethany demonstrating that she knows how to be a cool Instagram user. Now, the other key part of Bethany's personality, which we haven't talked about yet, is the fact that she's a mother. So she has a toddler and she's pregnant with her second kid, which she may or may not have announced the weekend of one of her sister's weddings, but that's neither here nor there. So let's look at some content of Bethany being a mompreneur here. Now, wait a minute. I thought she had already posted about burnout. Let's take a look at what was posted previously about burnout. 5 mistakes to make if you want to avoid burnout, trying every platform, waiting until everything is perfect, comparing your progress to other people, overcommitting to how much you post in a week, and being inauthentic to who you really are. Okay. And then here's some steps to avoid burnout. Focus on where you've been and celebrate where you're going. Fill your mind with inspiring podcasts and audiobooks. Always be authentic to who you are. Have the long view in mind and take it slow. Okay, so it's different content, but you know, like I just feel like her content is kind of lazy, right? So we've established that Bethany is 3 things, right? She's a mom and a family person, that she owns a successful business and therefore can help you have a successful business, and that she's a marketing expert, so she can help you market the course that she's going to help you build as part of her business. Now, the main kind of general complaint I have about Bethany's stuff is it's kind of lazy and low effort, in my opinion. For example, I know that she batch creates content, and that's totally fine. We do with our clients as well. But, you know, when she posts videos and the sound is kind of clipped off, that she doesn't use captioning, except for that one video where she had captions. You know, there's other things where I feel like she could have put in a little bit more effort if she wanted to, whether it was in regards to the actual content of the information or whether it was in the presentation of that information. But I recorded a story that I thought was particularly lazy. Now, when I play the story, notice that the background is not still images, but it's screenshots of her video thumbnails, okay? So you'll see like it's a kind of blurry picture and it'll say like the amount of plays that the video got when she took the screenshot. So Anyway, just wanted you to notice that while we were playing it. So here is what I think is a pretty lazy story that is an attempt for her to get engagement without, like I said, literally trying to think of anything clever. See what I mean? Like, it's kind of low effort. Now I'm going to play it again, and I'm going to point you out a couple of things. Okay. Fine. Do you enjoy filming reels? Okay, zoom in a little so the 5 is not there in the lower corner. And then there's white on the left side here. That could have been easily cropped out, as well as the 18. So, yeah. So she wants engagement, and she's not going to even ask you any interesting questions. She's just like, do you like being on Instagram? I don't know. I'm just saying try a little. Now, the other little thing that I noticed that I think is just starting, she mentions GoDaddy to buy a domain name. I forget one of these videos. She does a whole thing about LegalZoom, which I'm going to play right now. Now, my prediction is in addition to this course, she's going to pivot to affiliate marketing for business type services like LegalZoom, like GoDaddy, maybe a website hosting company, maybe a course platform. She recommends Kajabi. I bet that they have an affiliate program. But here's her little LegalZoom video, which I feel like there's no hashtag sponsored posts. There's no content alluding to it being an affiliate, but I think she might start heading into this territory. Now, on the off chance you're watching this and worrying like, oh crap, I have to set up a business structure, and wondering why I didn't mention it in the series of videos that I posted to TikTok, is that for most people, your amount of money that you're making will be relatively little, and your, I guess, liability will be relatively little. So for example, let's say that I had a business where I set stuff on fire, okay? And something went wrong and someone could sue me. I might want a business structure in place to legally separate who I am and my personal assets from the business. Or if I had a gazillion dollars, I might also, if in case someone sued my business trying to get to my personal money, might want to have a legal structure in place that separates me. There's other reasons too, because I don't have a gajillion dollars or set things on fire, but you get the idea. It's something that most people do not have to worry about right off. And it's something that your accountant or other people you work with will suggest doing at the right time for you. And you could even, most lawyers will talk to you for free as a consultation or charge a really low consultation rate. And they can advise you when would be a good time for you to set up a legal structure. So, but I think she is kind of opening it up herself to showing companies how she could be promoting them on her platform so that maybe they will sponsor her. That's what I think is happening, because there doesn't seem to be a sponsored post hashtag. There doesn't seem to be an affiliate link or code. There doesn't seem to be an affiliate relationship there yet, but I see it kind of opening the door to that possibility for other kinds of business related things. All right, so before we come to our conclusions, I just want to look at a few things on the Instagram profile that are easier to kind of do if we're looking at it together right now. Now, her Q&A section of her stories highlights is actually pretty in-depth, and I want to talk about some of the things she wrote there. So let's take a look. Watch out, there's an intense amount of stories here. So first one is how to pick and set up a way to receive payment. So she's saying Kajabi if you're selling a course, but if you're selling a download or a physical product, Shopify. Now, I think Shopify might be overkill for a lot of things. Like, let's say you just had one product, you could do a payment form. Like, there's lots of ways you could do it. But like I said, if she's tagging these companies, I'm wondering if that's just opening the door to affiliate. So let me just continue on here. It seems like income would be unstable. How do you compensate for that variable? Starting a new business is a journey. It takes patience and focus. That doesn't really answer the question. When people have unstable or variable income, there's certain ways that you approach kind of saving money or spending your money that might be different than someone who receives a paycheck for the same amount at regular intervals. And she could have instead of saying like, it takes time and it's mindset, she could have taken the opportunity to talk about that. But of course, that's not going to happen. So yeah. Now, another thing I noticed in Bethany's content is I know this purple color is like part of her brand, but she puts white text on it a lot. And I find it's difficult to read. And so what I wanted to do is show you I'm going to pick this color so I get what color it is. So there's this thing where you can actually check contrast. I did a whole video about website accessibility that I will link in the show notes, but this is the background color. And then the foreground color is, I think, I always forget whether black is 0 or if it's F. Oh, I always get these wrong. It's FFF. Okay. But as you see here, this fails readability pretty much across the board. And she does this consistently. So to me, if part of your online business is making content, making that content accessible is a pretty important part of that business. But let me just read as best I can. I get ads for someone else's course on what I'd like to do. Do I think I can still make one? Yes, there's confirmation that there's interest in the topic. Yeah, to me, if there's something else for sale, like that kind of shows you that someone is at least thinking of putting it in the market. We don't know. Just because someone made a course, we don't know if anyone actually bought it. I'm just going to say that part. I'm just going to let these play and just talk so I don't keep pausing them. How do you find customers? Does it take a long time to build an audience? Take my account, for example. I started this 7 days ago. I personally want to build this from the ground up. So I don't know why all the O's, that I attract my target customer. Okay, but she didn't start it from scratch, as we've established. Launch strategy using Reels. Batch record 12 Reels. Post 9 of those Reels to fill the page before announcing. Set up a new page on any other social media accounts I have and ask close friends and family to share about it as well. Post 2 new Reels a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon to get my name out there. Share 6 to 12 stories every day. Step and tag all posts with valuable hashtags. Have patience. Now, I can tell you, Bethany does not post 6 to 12 stories every day because I've been following her very closely for a couple weeks preparing for this video. And it's another do as I say, not as I do situation with these gurus. Do you think someone totally new could make as much money as in a 9-to-5 job? Yes, not overnight though. Keep the long view in mind. Now, please keep in mind too that Bethany has a job outside the home, which is why she hasn't had time to film the course. So she's not making this kind of money yet, even though she's saying that she 100% believes we will make it happen. Your belief is not the truth, Bethany. Okay. Can I make a following from 0 if I don't want to mention it on my private page? Yes, every single account starts from 0. Unless you have a YouTube channel with thousands of subscribers and an Instagram account with thousands of followers already. Truth for thee, but not for me. All right. How can I actually make money by posting on Instagram? I'm not about depending on paid promos through Instagram to make money. Instagram is a funnel to get new clients. I don't want to make money on Instagram. Mark my words, in the next year, she will be sponsored posting stuff for software companies, for payment processors, or anything that's sort of business related. I'm predicting this. How do your personal taxes work? Are you considered an independent contract? They're a little complicated right now. I work for my nonprofit, okay, Girl Defined Ministries, and I also make money through a few personal streams. My husband works for a company and also does independent contract work. We use the CPA to do our taxes each year because it's complicated. I personally recommend working with a CPA. Your tax coach is a great resource to get organized. Okay, I'm glad she's at least not giving tax advice because her situation is pretty unique. Mine is too. I also get hives thinking about doing my own accounting. All right, do you have to sell ebooks and courses? Is there a way to sell physical products? I don't like selling physical products. I hate shipping. As we've established, if she's too lazy to get her audio content to the end of a video that she posts, she's not going to put something in a box and send it. Shipping is not that hard. I love instant downloadable products. That's fine. I recommend Shopify for all selling and shipping. You know, there's other ways to handle shipping. There's multiple ways to handle shipping. It's not that hard, Bethany. You just don't want to do any work. You just want the money to roll in passively. How to make sure I own the rights and no one steals it. I don't recommend working about copyright stuff when you're first getting started. It's complicated. Basically, like, your audience will be so small that the odds that someone's going to steal your stuff are slim to none. That's what she's not going to say. People steal stuff all the time. It's best to report fake accounts, etc. It's funny because someone made a snark account called She Works Shart, and it had more followers than Bethany's account. I bet, and Bethany had it removed. So, but that was a glorious week and a half anyway. Don't waste too much time worrying about it. Well, you know what? Like, instead of telling someone not to worry about something, why don't you give them resources? Like, here is, there are copyright lawyers that will help you deal with this. The kinds of work that are protected under copyright are X, Y, and Z. You could point people to something. Gosh, she's just like, oh, don't worry about it, just because she's not worried about it. Where's the best place to sell? Etsy, make a website, etc. I like Etsy, but I hear they keep a good percentage. Well, Shopify charges $30 a month minimum, from what I can tell. So they're also taking their cut. I prefer a custom domain through at GoDaddy and directing it to your Shopify account. That's what I do with my marriage guide that I sell. She sells a marriage guide. Ooh, that is interesting. She's been married for like 5 years. Granted, she made it longer than I did, so I guess good for her. Hi, longtime follower. Are you going to be showing the amount you make passively? Interested to see. I will in this online course. I think seeing the inside scoop is huge. I will be as transparent as possible. Really? You couldn't even give us a general idea? Are you a six-figure business, Bethany? Do you use your nonprofit to get money so that you don't have to pay taxes on it? Hey guys, editing Nicole. So I looked up the Girl Defined Ministries filing with Charity Navigator, and they have no publicly available information. And apparently there's no publicly available information about financials because this organization makes less than $200,000 a year. So she might be six-figure, but she's not high into the six figures if she is. But it is a religious-based 501c3 organization. So I'll put the link in the show notes in case you want to look more at that report. God. Does it work for someone who isn't already public and well-known? Yeah, okay, this is it. I am starting this account, She Works Smart, from zero. This is a totally, with a lot of L's for no reason, different than my other accounts, and it tracks a completely different target person. As we've established, even if only 1% of people or 1.5% of people move over, that's still over 1,000 people. I'm not using my other platforms to build this. Not true. All right, I'm going to do like 2 more of these and then I'm going to stop because I'm just getting enraged. How does the whole Instagram paying for reels work? Oh my God, this like design makes me want to gouge my eyes out. You have to be approved by Instagram for monetization. But she's not talking about monetizing content. I wish she would just say, I'm not talking about that. Here are some resources that talk about it. Stop trying to be an expert in everything. Is it okay if we haven't decided our niche before the course? The course will help you to do this, but you'll be able to join with 0 ideas or many ideas. Okay. This course is for everyone. How do I stay consistent when life gets busy? I don't know, Bethany. How do you stay consistent on Instagram? Because you don't. All right. Personally, I make sure I have always 6 to 10 reels filmed and ready to finalize, add text, etc. in my drafts at all times. I'm a mom and I get serious migraines. That means I can't just whip up content whenever. I recommend finding an hour or 2 during the week and filming as many reels as possible. Worry about captions later. But if you are going to use a trending sound or whatever, it's hard to sort of pre-film those. You have to kind of plan them ahead of time a little bit. So, all right, I'm getting out of that now before I get even more enraged. But as we go down here, most of these are reels, and we saw most of these already. But, here's a carousel. And what you'll notice is that we have the same issue of the white on the light purple that makes it completely unreadable. I don't know why she didn't make it this color. Why didn't she make one the white color? Because the fact that it's number 1 is not super important. All right, let's read through them, okay? 6 questions to help you figure out your niche. What do I naturally find myself talking about all the time? Well, apparently this. What unique or helpful experiences have I been through? What hardships have I been through? What accomplishments have I made? That's a weird way to put it. Do I have a certain certification, degree, or training? I think there needs to be a comma after degree. What am I most passionate about helping other people with? Again, another, did you find this helpful? Click the link in my bio for a free ebook, Nailing Your Niche. And this is totally just a Canva template. And I recognize the actual Canva template. Here's the thing, like if you're going to use a Canva template, it's fine, but just make it look different anyway. So pleasing people will destroy your business. Okay. And I think it's interesting, this kind of hippie flower child branding, because we don't really see it with her other stuff. I mean, I get purple as her color, but still. All right. And let's look at one last thing. Here's a content challenge. Tried to zoom in, but it just makes the text bigger on the side and not the actual image. Post 1 educational reel. Show my face in stories. Follow 5 accounts in my niche. Optimize my bio. Share something vulnerable. Create a carousel in Canva. Interact with 5 niche accounts. Post a humorous reel. Do an intro post with a pic of you. Write down your goals for Instagram. Post a reel with your original audio. Comment an encouraging word. And take 24 hours off Instagram. Now, the other thing that the cool kids are doing now is putting their hashtags as a first comment. And then I've heard some weird MLM people say that like you delete that comment and then you re-add the hashtags later and it increases your engagement. I don't know if this is actually true. I'm just pointing out that this might be what's happening here. But anyway, so that's Bethany Beal's Instagram and her general vibe. So in summary, let's ask ourselves the following questions. What are Bethany's qualifications? Well, she has Girl Defined Ministries, so she has a successful YouTube channel and Instagram account under those with her sister, and she's never really worked with anybody else on anything or worked in other niches. So let's go back to her story where she posts her experience and even her followers are middle impressed by it. So I don't think she has a lot of qualifications for teaching this class. And she is going to say that by me saying this, I'm being a troll, but I'm not. I'm saying something that is legitimately true. And if she has gotten education about creating online courses, if she's worked with someone else on their online course, she could take the opportunity to say that. But since she's not, I'm guessing she hasn't. So our second question, has she had success besides her success with online courses? Now, to remind you, she has said that she has released multiple online courses. Okay. Now, I don't see any evidence of this anywhere. And if you go to She Works Smart, you just see a GoDaddy parked page. So she could have set up a basic web page answering some of these basic questions. Here are the courses I've created. Here is the content I've made. Here's how I've helped other people. But she's chosen not to. So my guess is that her sample size is indeed 1. And if it was more than 1, we would have heard about it by now. And what will the course content be like? Well, as we've established, we don't really know. We know it's a course about creating an online course, but we don't know what the content is like. So what I want to present to you instead, if you're thinking about buying this course, is I have a free course. I don't collect emails on it. I recorded it during the pandemic when I had to move in with my mother after a really bad breakup. So if the quality of filming has improved since then, that's why. Oh, there's my mom's craft room in the background. So I called it 2020 Make Some Money, and it is 20 days of exactly how to set up an online business, starting from day 1, going all the way to day 20. And then this is the little intro video that I did. So is it going to win any awards? No. Is it going to give you background about how you can generally make money online, what your options are, and let you kind of choose your own adventure? That's kind of what it was built to do. Because in 2020, well, and even now, right, we just had we had a hard time because people couldn't work the way they wanted to. They understood that their jobs were a little less secure than they expected, and they wanted to create something for themselves. So what I thought was like, listen, I am getting to live in my mom's spare room for 6 months while I financially and otherwise recover from this. I have a weird skill set that can help other people. So that's why I set this up. Again, you'll notice it's just all visible. You don't have to give your email. It's just there. It is my little community service thing. And I posted other courses on my YouTube channel to kind of show people what my teaching approach is like. So what I don't understand about Bethany is like, why not show what one of the modules looks like? You don't have to give away the whole cow, but why not show kind of what the approach is? Here's a module, here's a sample worksheet, the kind of thing that's going to be in this course. Oh, and there's 30 modules and you're seeing like part of one of them right now. And so that should kind of let people know what it's like to take a course with you if they haven't before, because plunking down $2,000 without even an outline of what this is going to be about, it feels a little risky to me. So in conclusion, I admire Bethany's confidence. And what I can't figure out is she acting more confident than she feels? And that's why what she's doing feels a little bit forced or awkward? Or does she genuinely think she is an expert at creating and marketing an online course without seemingly much knowledge about the topic? That's what I'm not quite sure of. I do think an online course can be a nice vehicle for people to learn what you know about something. I don't see charging thousands of dollars for it. People, if they're going to pay thousands of dollars or even hundreds of dollars for a class, they're going to want some personal interaction. They're going to want maybe to have some assignments or class discussions. They're going to want more value add than you showing a bunch of slides while you're talking in the background. I haven't seen her course, so I can't say whether it's good or bad, but I will say that the fact that it isn't done yet, I'm kind of wondering about. I wish there was a world in which we could make thousands of dollars passively every day, but for most people, that's not a possibility. Now, on my website, you'll go to it and you'll see I have online courses. I can count the number of people on 2 hands who have ever paid me for an online course, and it's not because I'm not good at them. It's probably because I'm bad about marketing them, and it's probably also because a lot of the information I talk about can be found for free on the internet. And I feel like Bethany's course is going to be the same. Again, without having seen it, just the impression that I'm getting. So thanks for watching. If you want me to react to an online guru in particular, or a specific video, or even a topic, please feel free to leave it as a comment wherever you're watching this video. And if you want to see past episodes of Nicole Reacts, you can check out the playlist on the YouTube channel, the Nicole Reacts playlist, or you can check out the Nicole Reacts section of my blog, which has all of the past episodes. So appreciate your time, and see you next week, because these gurus keep on coming. But the good news is you don't have to fall for their crap. You've got a friend in the marketing business. Take care.